action pending. Bang! 4x! Easy!
What's up, boys? Alright, shut your bitch ass up. Shut your bitch ass up. Boys, another fucking crazy trade. Get my ass, what the fuck? Get my ass over there. Another crazy trade. This morning was really weird. The open was fucking weird. Alright? Very weird, I won't lie. We were kind of consolidating on the daily low. My camera's all fucked up. I'm gonna show the breasticles. Okay? We had a weird open. I'm not gonna hold you on that shit. It was a weird ass fucking open, but we did end up moving. Basically, we opened up underneath PDL. I'm looking at RTY. Our trade was an RTY. We took RTY longs underneath the previous daily low up to EQ range. This is my trade. My actual execution was on the 5-minute pointer, which we'll talk about in a moment. Here's what happened, right? We opened up underneath PDL. There was a bunch of low res liquidity. We had this is the top of an order block right here, the top where it's really high res liquidity, but yes. And then its first fair value up right here. So we held and respected the inverse. We swept out the order block range. So this would be our breaker block if it held, if it created an order block, and it did. Or not an order block, a fair value gap, right? An order block is created by a liquidity sweep, breaker structure, fair value gap. In this case, what happened is we ran back up to PDL. I was not able to find an entry on this because we didn't have any first fair value gaps form or any pointers form. We retraced from PDL back down to the order block, and then you can see we have a 5-minute pointer breaker structure. I did not enter on this. It's also a 3-minute pointer breaker structure. At this point, we had yet to create a fair value gap, okay? I was changing between this and ES. I ended up picking RTY because it looked a little bit better. There was a lot more room between us and EQ, and I'm glad I did. I'll show you MNQ and MES in a moment. So here was our order block on a lower time frame. We had our 3-minute pointer breaker structure validating the order block. We're breaking structure away from this. I want to see this level get held. I want to see this level get held and then fair value gaps form outside of it. It's better seen on that 5-minute as well. So you would really want this entire thing to be held down, right? This is your active pointer. Whoops. Okay, that's your active pointer. This is the 3 and 5-minute pointer. You always want to defer to the higher time frame pointer for the 5-minute implied moves. My moves happen on the 5-minute time frame. And so yeah, so here's your order block, here's your breaker structure away from that. Now our rule is pointers must create inefficiencies. And so if you look on a lower time frame, we had a pointer, so I dropped to a lower time frame to see if it created inefficiencies, and it did. We have a first fair value up on the 1 minute here. Let me make this more clear. We're gonna remove the pointer. Okay, we have a 1 minute first fair value up there, a 2-minute first fair value up right there, and then we had another 3-minute pointer. And so what I'm looking for after, a 5-minute pointer. What I'm looking for after this 5-minute pointer, which we had right here, is an additional pointer. So we had our 3 and 5, make this guy here. Those created inefficiencies, so that qualifies as a order block validation underneath PDL. There were nothing else we had to worry about, right? So then we had a 5-minute pointer breaker structure that then created fair value gaps. So that qualifies as our rule. You enter off of the breaker structure away from those fair value gaps on the 5. Got my entry there, and then I actually took a wrong entry on NQ. I accidentally filled a long on NQ somewhere back here by complete accident. Although it did technically move with bias, which is funny. It was literally a complete accident. Going back to M2K, RTY, whichever you took it on. Here is our entry right here on the 5-minute pointer break validation of our first fair value gaps. Stops underneath the order block. And then taking profit at EQ, which EQ is like a moving thing. Our original take profit was this EQ range here. Stops moving to, there's your order block, and then we pulled up into the trend EQ just now, like just a little bit ago. So if you had left runners, that would be a great place to take profit. So we almost got fucking slimed, like on some type shit. We almost got fucking slimed, but there were really 2 entries you could have taken on this shit. But yeah, pretty solid move. We targeted the session level density in here. We saw a weird reaction on here, probably because of the inverses on the 2-minute, or was it the 1 minute? Am I tripping? No. Where was it? Somewhere in here. Maybe I'm tripping. I might be tripping. I think I'm tripping off that shit. What the fuck was it? Oh, volume imbalance. My bad. I didn't even see that shit. Yeah, volume imbalance. And then technically, yeah, first for value up. So nothing like too crazy, but it was definitely something to look out for. And then you'd always want to pull your stops after candle close. And obviously we made another order block here, validating with fair value gap. So really you're putting your stops on the order block. Always pull your stop losses to high res liquidity. So you start at the original order block. Obviously this is a terrible risk reward to have. You'd want to start around the pointer as long as the pointer holds. In this case, the pointer was a order block that then created a fair value gap. So liquidity sweep, break a structure, fair value gap. There's another order block. And then they just kept repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. obviously done the liquidity sweep, break restriction, fair value gap. This is a qualified order block, stops underneath of that. You could continue that process over and over. It might go to EQ. I have no fucking clue. I did not hold it down this long. I took everything out on trend EQ tap. That was my last. That was the last thing I held on. It was pretty simple, although choppier than I would have hoped for. It definitely was a better move than something like MES or MNQ, for example, which I had actually got. I don't even know what the fuck was going on with that shit, but I think I got filled like right around here on that pointer, the 5-minute pointer. I just don't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? So, not a bad day. Definitely choppier than I had hoped. The actual execution was on M2K, not RTY. It really depends on what you were looking at, but for me, I thought M2K was better sizing on my XFAs, but not a bad day for me. I ended up taking just shy of 4K home, so big fucking day. Now, to be fair, that was spread across multiple accounts, and one of those accounts is eval, so I think I only got to take home like little under 3, but yeah, pretty fucking fire day, boys. Hopefully y'all learned. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. Deuces, boys.